Hello everyone, it's Romero Benavides again. Just wanted to give you an update on maybe some future projects. I just received this watch repair toolkit. Bought it on eBay, pretty affordable. Probably, cheap starter kit, basically. But I recently got into these watches here, clocks or whatever you want to call them. These are Sandoz Vuille, however we say it, I'm not exactly sure, but Vuille maybe Sandoz Vuille watches or clocks, 8-day clocks. That's what they are. And these originally came mounted on rearview mirrors. It was an accessory used by Ford in the 30s, 1930s. Fords, and it was an accessory that you could buy. I'm not sure if they came from the factory or the dealer or whatever with them on, but I've kind of learned how to get them running. I've bought a few and I've been tinkering with them. I've messed some up, learning how to work on them. Unfortunately, but some were already messed up because I bought some that looked like people had taken parts off of them to build others. So the ones that I've messed up, learning basically, I've used for parts, and I've been able to build two really nice running clocks. And this one right here is my favorite. It's the first one that I bought. It's a very, very neat, ornate clock. Uh, Brass backing and body. You can see the balance wheel spinning or rocking back and forth. You can hear the little clicking of the clock. I love it. I'm not 100% convinced that they're from the 30s, but uh, just because of the shape, they're in pretty, very nice shape. But what do I know? I'm just getting into this. This one here is a perfectly running clock. Unfortunately, I stripped the arm gears. You can't see it from in here, but it's inside. You can't set the clock. So I actually had swapped this balance wheel from another clock to get this one running, and then that happened. So I tried to move the hands, uh, and I actually stripped the gear. So instead of taking the hands off and setting it that way, maybe by at 12 o'clock or something to start it off with, I try to move the gear, move the hands, and it messed up the gear. Very, very fragile mechanism. You can see the little teeth in there right now. But I've learned quite a bit actually messing these things up. They're not expensive. I mean, you could get them for under $50, maybe under $30. Not running. Some people ask 150, $200, $300, $500. But I don't think they know what they have. I've learned that this little screw right here takes the crown off, the winding crown here. I've learned that this little setup here keeps the winding spring here from unwinding. Just it clicks into place and it puts that tension on that spring and keeps it from unwinding. So I've had to undo a few of these here just because I think people have overwound them. As soon as you unwind them, they just make a big old loud fishing rod noise, casting noise. And there's a very fine, fine spring under this that actually moves it back and forth. When you click, it'll lock it when you let it off. So it's pretty. There's three different designs I have found. I found that there's another one that this arm right here comes in from this side, and the balance wheel is actually the same, I believe. They just have it coming in from a different area. And I believe the jewels are, there's more jewels on those that come from that direction. If I'm not mistaken. Trying to see what this one, how many jewels this one is. But this one looks like 6 jewel. So I believe there's a 17 jewel one clock, and I believe that's the one that has the different. And I've got one. I have not been able to find any parts for it yet. Or have I tried to, actually they might be the same. I'll just have to maybe turn it this way and it'll come in from that direction. So maybe I might even be able to get that one running. So like I said, these are 6 jewel. They're kind of industrial type. Nothing really fancy. But they work, you know. And it's a Swiss mechanism. Watch mechanism. Sandoz Vuille, whatever. Swiss. And beautiful. I mean, you could slow down the... This one's running just a little fast. Say in 24 hours, it'll be ahead about 3 minutes. Which is not too bad. But you can adjust the how slow or fast you want it to go. So I haven't really messed with this one yet. But they're holding pretty good time considering, you know. 2 or 3 minutes in 24 hours is not too bad. This one's one I just picked up. I'm not sure what the issue is right now, but I could see some corrosion in that little area right here, and it might have been overwound. The back was not on it when I bought it. The balance wheels appears to be good. I can see the little spring, very fine, super fine spring. First time I took the balance wheel off because I had messed up the balance wheel. It's actually ruby, I believe, little jewel that they rest on. The balance wheel rests between, and there's actually jewels on the ends of each needle-looking setup for the balance wheel. It's got like a little jewel in it, and if you break it, the balance wheel just flops around. So, eventually I want to take it out of its little case here. It's these 3 screws here, and then undo this little fine looking little screw here, and then the crown will come off. Then from there I can work on it. It'll still have the face on it. I mean, I can unscrew this face, actually, the glass, of course, take that off, but you know, I don't want to mess up anything. I would probably keep it on, just put it on this holder here, watch holder. That's in the kit that I bought. I believe that's it right here. I still have to open it up. Kind of learned the tools. Got some oil too. There's a little press here. I've heard you can use these to press these lenses in, these crystals in. This one's in beautiful shape. Somebody may have replaced it. I mean, this watch may have been NOS, you know, in the old stock. Might have been mounted on that mirror and somebody just bought it. Or I mean, you know, people just took them off back then. I'll see if I can find some pictures on the internet with the actual rear view mirror with this attached to it. And different, you know, this was Ford's, you know, and I believe it might have a original Ford one would have a Ford emblem or something on it. I'm not sure. Because I've seen different, and I don't know if somebody made one to be whatever it is, but there's different, you know, clocks and different models, different cars that had that accessory, you know, that you could buy. Maybe it was just a JCPenney type, Sears catalog type of thing. I don't know. J.C. Whitney even, but I don't know. But it's pretty neat. I've moved the balance wheel a little bit. I don't want to try too hard, but it appears that it might have. There's like a little arm. I don't know what to call it, but when that balance wheel turns left to right, back and forth, hits a little arm that you can't see from here, but it's supposed to be between that little fork, I guess I'll call it, and there's like a little stud where it rides on the other underside of this, and if it falls off of that, it won't swivel back and, you know, side to side like it should, left to right, I guess I'll just say that, like this. And you can see that little gear turning there. You can see that little arm. See how it's hitting that right there, and it's moving that, allowing that little gear to unwind that clock spring, or the mainspring, I mean. You see it right there, going left to right. So each pass, right to left rotation, half rotation, it'll hit that little mechanism there and unwind the mainspring, which is under this bigger gear. So if it falls off of that, between that area there, it'll only move one direction, and it won't let it, rotate to the opposite direction. So it might just be that I can take this off and just reset it, and it might start working again. So like I said, we'll see. It's another little Rocar clock, watch, or whatever you want to call it. It actually doesn't have a case for band, so it's a little pocket watch, I guess. They might have set in something. But another project, real cheap watch that I want to work on, learn how to work on. This one here I put in a nice leather case that I bought with another pocket watch that eventually didn't work, but these fit perfect in this setup right here. See, they're pretty much in sync. Real close to in sync, about a minute off. But like I said, future project. I'll start working on this one here when I get a chance. Take it apart and see if I could get it running. I've got oil, a little setup kit, oil kit. Got that other kit to clean them. I've even learned to clean them using charcoal lighter fluid, believe it or not. Let them set in there and it'll break up any kind of dirt. And it's something I learned from YouTube as well. It's just alright. Well, anyways, thank you for watching future projects and more updates coming up on the other projects I have going on. Thank you very much.